Hi, I'm John Schreiber. For almost 20 years, the New Jersey Performing Arts Center has been the state's premier home to both world-class and community-centered performances. We pride ourselves on presenting something for everybody. That is why we're very proud to partner with the Caucus Educational Corporation to produce One-on-One at NJPAC with Steve Adubato. This fun and informative series features some of the very best talent New Jersey has produced. We are pleased to welcome them and you to the Arts Center.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJPAC has been provided by Investors Bank, Berkeley College, the Northward Center, Century 21 Construction, Josh S. Weston, the Fidelco Group, and by the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Find out how you can help. Promotional support provided by NJ.com, Small News, Big News, True Jersey, and by Commerce Magazine.
This is One-on-One. I'm an equal American just like you are.
The jobs of tomorrow are not the jobs of yesterday.
Look at this. You got this?
Here it is, man. Look at that.
Life without dance is boring.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
Do you enjoy talking politics?
No.
People call me because they feel nobody's paying attention.
Our culture, I don't think, has ever been tested the way it's being tested right now.
Such a good question. High five.
I'm Steve Adubato. This is the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. This is One-on-One, and we are pleased to welcome Mr. Larry Tamburri, who is Executive Director of the Newark School of the Arts, which in 2017 is celebrating its
50th anniversary.
Wow. For those who do not know what the Newark School of the Arts is, describe it.
It's an after-school program of sequential art training in 4 disciplines: music, dance, visual arts, and drama.
Why does it matter so much, particularly in a city like Newark?
Well, it matters everywhere, but it matters particularly in a city like Newark because there isn't enough art training in the school system.
Let's break this down a little bit. People will say, yeah, the arts are nice, but it doesn't matter that much because you've got these basic skills that kids need, you say?
I say that actually the arts make a big difference in people's lives. They change people's lives. And it's been documented in many different ways how it improves academic performance, if that's of interest.
The arts?
Yes, if that's of interest.
Give us an example.
Well, if you look to see which students, if you're in a school system where there's a strong music program, you'll see that the kids that are achieving the most academically will usually be the kids in the band and orchestra.
That really is true, isn't it?
That's really true. If you want to hear a really good orchestra, go to MIT. They don't even have a music program, but they have a really great orchestra. Carnegie Mellon, same thing.
Little correlation there?
A little correlation there, yes.
Well, talk about your background. You've directed a few symphonies, have you not, over 30 years?
Yeah, well, I was the CEO, not the music director.
Okay, well, yeah. You've been the boss, the leader.
Yes, so I had a 30-year career in symphony management.
Describe that.
Well, it was, you kind of have to do everything when you're in symphony management. You know, you have a board of directors, so you have to develop that and work with that group. You have to raise money, sell tickets, work with artists.
I'm sorry, you're talking about public television right now?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Work with artists.
Yes.
You know, you have 100 musicians that you have to try to keep happy, plus a music director. So it's an interesting and complex field. It was a really good career. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
So you're from Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. You were involved in that symphony.
Yeah, that was at the end of my career. That was my last orchestra. Pittsburgh Symphony is one of the world's great orchestras, and we toured every year to Europe or Asia, and it was a really great experience. But at the end of 30 years, I thought it would be nice. My wife really loved New Jersey. We wanted to come back again. So we moved back here, and I just kind of moved into this area again.
Make the connection between the work you're doing with the School of the Arts and the work with the symphony.
Well, symphony orchestras in New Jersey, I can tell you, has an excellent education program. But they're more exposure programs, or they're programs where they have a youth orchestra that can help bring talented kids along. But there are a lot of kids that can't be part of that program because every child should have the opportunity and access to all the arts. And nonprofit organizations don't have the capacity to provide complete art training. And so, the Newark School of the Arts comes closest to it in our area because that's what we try to do. But we can't really reach enough students. The school system really has to be in the school system. And when it's not in the school system, it really is difficult.
Where do the dollars come from? And we talked about fundraising.
Well, we have to raise money, so we have some very generous foundations in New Jersey. We get money from the New Jersey State Council on the Arts, and we ask individuals for support.
Corporate foundation support.
Corporate and foundation support, yeah. So a big part of my job actually is fundraising, as one would expect, yeah.
Help people understand, though. I think about this, again, in the city of Newark, where we are, right? This incredible arts institution, the NJPAC, that has a great arts education.
It does. It has a great arts education program. It really does, yes.
Yeah. But help people understand why in a city like Newark, it's especially important.
It's especially important because you want people to succeed academically. You want people to stay in school. And the arts help provide mechanisms to keep people in school, because children come to school anxious to be in the band or the orchestra or to dance or to paint. And
yeah, by the way, break down some of the specific programs that you have.
well, we have, as I said, we have a visual arts program. We have a music program, so we have private lessons, we have group lessons. If someone takes a private lesson at our school, they get free music theory and free ensemble. We have about 50, 60 students studying piano. We have guitar students, so almost all the instruments, violin.
What are the ages?
The ages range. We actually have a music and movement program for babies. And
For babies?
Yes, and we go all the way up. So our oldest, she might not even want me to say this, but our oldest student, I believe, is about 86.
No.
Yes. It's from babies through 86, yes.
The 86-year-old student
Yes.
found you how?
She's been going to the school for a while, and her children go and her grandchildren go. She just loves taking piano lessons, yeah.
What's it like knowing that you're helping, you and your colleagues are helping younger people and others all the way up to the age of 86 learn to experience music in a way they otherwise never would be able to?
Well, I just personally feel passionate about it. I think it's very important. My wife is a piano teacher, and I've seen the way that that one-on-one relationship can just change a child's life.
Actually change their life.
It changes their life, yes. And so I just feel a passion that this is very important, and I feel that a lot of students are a lot of children are shortchanged when they don't have it in their life, and I just would like more people to have the opportunity to be able to participate. And I would really hope that corporations would start talking about STEAM instead of STEM. I think it's really important.
Make that clear to folks.
With STEM
science,
is
technology,
science,
engineering,
and math,
and
which are all important, but it needs the A in there also, the arts.
And the A is?
Arts.
Who's your faculty?
Our faculty are made up of people that some have been there quite a long time and some are relatively new, but they're all high quality faculty members from conservatories and really excellent art programs.
Are they practitioners?
And most of them are practitioners, actually, yes. Yeah.
You love what you do.
Yes, I think it's very important.
So you and your wife, both in the arts?
Yes.
Dinner conversation about the arts?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes we try to talk about other things.
You don't talk politics, do you?
Never.
I was just going to say that. How did I know that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just knew that.
Yeah. And did you know that by the time you're 5 years old, the child's brain is 85% developed? And it makes it really important to read to your children and for them to participate in music starting at a very early age.
With all that you know, I have to ask you this. I'm a student of leadership. The number one lesson you learned about leadership is?
The number one lesson about leadership, I believe, is communication, getting people in alignment.
I love it. Larry Tamburri is Executive Director of the Newark School of the Arts.
Thank you very much.
Keep changing lives. Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
To watch more one-on-one with Steve Adubato, find us online and follow us on social media.
There he is for the first time here on public television, here at NJPAC. Joel Perry, jazz guitarist, music educator. Check it out. This is one of his CDs, Rainbow Skylight. And what's the other one called? Sonata?
Sonata to the Blues.
Look at you. You grew up in the Bronx.
I did.
You said your dad used to play Louis Armstrong.
Yes. You know, he played Louis Armstrong and Leadbelly. And I was, my parents used to wake me up when I was like 3 years old to dance for company because I used to jump up and down.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's true.
So you loved it as a kid. You felt it as a kid.
Yeah. Well, I actually, there was an amusement park called Freedom Land in the Bronx. And I had seen a pianist playing a white upright with a mirror, and I think it was a New Orleans style. Right. I don't really know. And when I saw the reflection of his hands on the keys, I said I knew I could do that, and I kind of demanded a piano, but they didn't get me one right at first, you know.
But you knew something was up.
Yeah, I kind of felt like I could do that. I didn't want to be a musician or anything, you know.
Right.
But I was so lucky, really, because what had happened was, you know, I convinced my parents to give me piano lessons, and they did, and they got a piano, and I was playing. And then I wanted to be a vet. My father taught biology, so I always wanted to be a veterinarian in my mind. That's what I thought. And then I had an opportunity to try out for the High School of Music and Art. You know, and the teachers there.
You're talking about LaGuardia.
Yes.
Well,
in those days,
they started it.
In those days, yeah.
Yes.
LaGuardia, 135th Street, Convent Avenue, you know, in Manhattan, you know.
Right.
So I went to, actually we moved to Queens, and I went to junior high school 8 in Jamaica. And the band director said, the following students will audition for the High School of Music and Art. I played clarinet in the band. And I said, oh, this is great, because all my friends were trying out for the, you know, the smart schools, you know, Science and Stuyvesant. And so I tried out for music and art, and my mother didn't want me to go. You know, she said, I don't want you to be a musician. I said, I'm not going to be a musician. I just want to get a day off from school, go on the subway, try out, you know.
Right.
But when I got there were kids, because the music classes were canceled. And I guess, you know, so they could try out, audition the students. And there were kids on stage playing jazz. And I'll never forget, there was this one kid with a trumpet, and it just riveted me. I said, wow, if that's what these kids do all day at this school, I want to go here.
You were hooked.
I was really hooked, yeah.
And is that how you wind up being the recipient of the New Jersey Association for Jazz Education's 2017 Jazz Education Achievement Award? It's a long title, but it's a big deal.
It is a long title, and I'm very flattered that they did that, because the New Jersey Association of Jazz Educators, a great
By the way, you teach in West Orange.
I do. I teach at the Redwood School.
Great school.
In West Orange, and I love it. It's a great district, and what's really great is, you know, they have music 2 times a week, you know, for the elementary school kids.
Right.
And that's why, like, when they get to the high school, they have an orchestra of 150 kids playing violins, you know, and the whole orchestra. And when they do a Broadway show, most of the kids, you know, most of the people in the pit, they're students. There's a few ringers, but mostly students. And they're playing professional music. And the district itself, really.
I got to ask you something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
Sure.
By the way, you accused me, you said you've watched us before.
I did.
You accused me, you said you were intimidated.
Yeah, well, I would have felt intimidated, you know.
What am I, Bill O'Reilly?
Well,
nothing against Bill, but I mean, then you said I had riveting, you said I had hard-hitting, nasty questions, which I don't. But I need to ask you this.
Yes.
Not hard-hitting and nasty, but I need to ask you, why is music education so important to our kids?
Well, I think it's really, I'm glad you asked me
You
that.
better give me a straight answer.
I will definitely give you a straight answer.
What do you got? Come on, let's go.
All right. Well, here's the thing. Music education is extremely important for all children. And I really, truly believe that if you take that away, you're actually committing a crime. I really feel. Because of this, every child needs to have the arts in their life and needs to have music. Now, if they're not getting it at home, you know, let's say their parents now don't sing to them, or they don't sing. If they don't get it in the religious, you know, in church or whatever, if they're not singing, the school might be the only place that they're going to get this. And if they don't get it in school when they're young, they're deprived. It's almost like a plant or a flower that you don't water. If you don't water, it dies. So that part of a child, to take that away from a child, that's almost criminal. You know, I really feel, of course, naturally, you know, I'm kind of biased, but still, even in an objective way, they need to be exposed. Not so that every child can become a musician, but that they need to be exposed to it by a professional who can teach them to understand music and to really be involved in it.
You are passionate.
I am.
I feel it. By the way, speaking of bias, I want to make sure there's no bias here, because I want to cover the bases. To be also aggressive and assertive in my questioning to you, as if Chris Matthews would do on another network. Why are you so passionate? I need to know now. Give me an answer. Let's go.
All right. Well, don't pressure me.
And by the way, what group do you play with?
Well, I have my own band, but I also perform with Bobby Kyle and the Administrators.
So you admit this?
I do admit it.
Who are these guys?
Well, Bobby Kyle, I met Bobby Kyle because we both used to play with the great Texas blues man, Johnny Copeland. I performed with Johnny, and then after I performed, Bobby was performing with him. And I actually met him through Johnny. And he's a very good blues man, really excellent. He sings, he writes his own stuff, he plays great guitar, and I'm happy to be involved with him.
Okay, will you or will you not perform for us?
Well, I'd be delighted.
You're going to do this?
Definitely.
What are you going to perform?
Well, I'd be really honored to play one of my own compositions called Barbecue.
Barbecue?
Yeah.
Is it on one of these CDs?
It is. I'm trying to remember which one.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It does not matter, because Joel Perry's in the house. Jazz guitarist, music educator, and huge fan of public broadcasting.
Definitely.
I'm teasing you before. I'm not asking you tough questions, and you honor us by performing with us. Joel, check out Joel. He's going to perform all the way out. Thank you, Joel.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
Hey.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
You are looking at the beautiful, smiling, talented face of Miss Faith Ringgold, artist, author, arts educator, and activist. How you doing?
I'm kind of fine.
Yeah?
A little bit fine.
I think you're
yes,
fine.
I'm very happy about a lot of things, but there are a few things that are not quite right, but that's okay.
Well, it's great to have you here.
But it's great being here.
Yeah, at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. Actually, one of the things we want to do right away is to show something, a very important piece of art that you're a part of. You're part of the Newark 350 celebration, are you not?
Absolutely.
Because?
I did the print for it.
You did the print for it. Yeah. And the print...
You mean you didn't know that?
I did know that. I'm trying to set you up for this, okay?
Oh.
And the print, a day in Newark's 350th year celebration. We're going to actually put up the print and talk about the print. It is a silkscreen print, right?
Yes, I guess it's a silkscreen print, yes. It is,
The significance of it.
My feelings about Newark, New Jersey, and they go way back to when I was a kid and used to come here because my uncle lived in New Jersey, and we used to walk over the George Washington Bridge from Harlem.
Where you're raised, in Harlem?
Yes. And we would come over here to his house. And so I have long feelings and memories of Newark. And so when I was faced with the idea of creating a print for the celebration of 350, I didn't know it was 350 years. That's a lot. I didn't know Newark was that old. I wanted to bring into it, my feelings about Newark that I could share with, other people. So I really want to say thanks to all the people at NJPAC for asking me.
Let me ask you, you were coming from Harlem to Newark. Describe the Newark that you remember back in the day.
It was very small, of course, with little houses, two-story houses, and everybody very, very sweet and very homey, and with their little gardens and everything. It was just a really, coming from New York City, it was very different and very, very welcoming. We loved it. I loved coming. And I would stay with my uncle and his wife. And that was fun. So I have these really fond memories. And I just went back over them to put together my idea for what I thought would appeal to many people who know Newark, maybe not exactly as I know it, but I couldn't figure how could they know it too much differently. It hasn't changed that much, although it has changed a lot.
I'm going to ask you this.
Big now and, wow, grandiose more.
Your love of art, when did it start?
As a child, I cannot remember ever being without the joy of making art. When I was a child, I had asthma, so I didn't go to kindergarten, pre-kindergarten. Very little first grade. I really started school in second grade. And my mother used to go to school and get my homework and get my work, get my books, get my everything. And I was more or less homeschooled until about the second grade, except that I had my art. And my father brought me my easel. My first easel, my father brought me. And I was always able to create art.
Connect your art with your activism.
In order to be an artist, it was absolutely imperative that I get involved in activism, both as a woman and as a black person, because both fields are pretty much closed to both people. And so I had to get out there and find a way to get myself in there and do the work too. And so I did. And so I did. I did the work, I did the activism. I did it all. Thank God I did.
How far have we come? And have we come even close to far enough?
Well, I think I'll let you answer that. I don't know.
I'm asking, you know things I don't know.
Well, I know things you don't know, but there's a lot to know. And, I don't want to be a bragger.
You're not a bragger, you're just telling me, I'm just asking you, in the time we have left, in terms of race.
Oh, as far as race is concerned.
That's what I mean.
Well, I see.
I should have made that clear, I apologize.
No, you didn't. I think things are improving somewhat, but we have a long way to go, both as a woman and as a black person in the art world, visual art. Not the music, the dance, the theater, none of that. They're coming along more too, but they've always been ahead of the visual arts. Yeah, I think we're improving, but we've got a long way to go.
Faith Ringgold, artist, author, arts educator, and activist. Thank you for joining us on public television. We appreciate it.
Okay, very
Wish
good.
you the best.
Thank you.
From NJPAC, I'm Steve Adubato.
The preceding program has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation and the New Jersey Performing Arts Center in association with NJTV and WNET. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJPAC has been provided by Investors Bank, Berkeley College, the Northward Center, Century 21 Construction, Josh S. Weston, the Fidelco Group, and by the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.
When I grow up, I want to be a top chef. When I grow up, I want to be a CEO. When I grow up, I want to be hungry.
No child wants to grow up to be hungry, but that's the reality for 1 in 5 children in New Jersey.
Join the Community Food Bank of New Jersey and end childhood hunger. We need your help. You can feed our future. Feed the future of New Jersey now!